Hello, everybody, and welcome to an interview for Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Let me, since I'm the solo host of the show, to wish you a happy new year. Hope everybody off to a good start. This is the first interview of the new year, and I'm joined with a wrestler from down south. Heard of this man via George Alonso of Reality Check, and he told me some things about this cat. I like what I see. I like what I hear. I like what I'm looking forward to expect. I'm joined with BJ Murdoch right here, right now. Hello, BJ, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. It is a pleasure to be on the show and an honor to be the first interview of the new year.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to have you on board, and let's go ahead and begin. So, talk to the fans. What got you started into wrestling?
Oh, man. See, wrestling's always been, like, my thing. It's the only thing in life that I've ever truly, truly loved. It was the only good thing that ever came from my mom marrying my stepfather. He introduced me to wrestling on the TV, and one of the first things I remember was Hogan slamming Andre when I was just knee-high to a grasshopper. It stuck in my head. And then the next major thing I remember was Hogan and the Warrior. And when I saw that match, I decided that's what I needed to do with my life. I wanted to be the super over-the-top hero that everybody loves, or, you know, and as I got older, then it became, man, I want to be the villain that everybody hates. And when I came to that realization that when I was 14 years old, it was when I was 14 years old, I decided, you know what, I got to learn I got to figure out what I have to do. So when I got into high school, I joined the collegiate wrestling team, and I wrestled until I was 16. And when I was 16, I tore my meniscus on my left knee, and then, God, dang, somebody's blowing up my phone. So I was 16, I tore my meniscus on my left knee, so I sat out the rest of high school. And then I started training when I was 18 out of high school, and unfortunately re-injured my left knee and took about 9 years off and got fat. And then at 27, I jumped back in the ring and started training under Rusty Brooks again, who was the same guy I trained under originally. And shortly after going back to training, I had my first match. And it's funny how things change. It's definitely funny how things change. It's this crazy business will take you all over the place, and twists and turns and ups and downs and lefts and rights. You never know where you're going to end up. And you start off one way, and 4 or 5 years later, you end up another way.
You are absolutely right when you say that the wrestling business will definitely take you for a ride. You go through the good times, you go through the bad times, and just hearing your story and everything, especially you having to deal with injuries just to, at least get to the first match. And we all know, as athletes, injuries happens, whether it's before you start wrestling or during wrestling. I mean, how unavoidable. You just do the best that you can. And what I want to ask you as it pertains to injuries, I mean, how do you handle being on the sidelines and going through the rehab and recovering from injuries? Does it like drive you crazy, or do you just just let the doctors do what they can and get you back in the ring as soon as possible?
Well, it's a funny story how injuries and other life occurrences can sideline you. For instance, I was wrestling professionally for a year and a half before February of 2011. I should really just start there. February 2011 was a really big month and a really bad month for me at the same time. My tag partner at the time, who was a guy by the name of Beastly Brody, currently wrestling under the name Edward Malkin, he and I were the scum of the earth, and we were the local newspaper cover in both Broward and Miami, which are the two counties down here in the area. And that was big news for all the guys in the area. Oh man, it was really great. And we went on to have this big match at a big show down in Miami at ICW, Independent Championship Wrestling, and we completely stole the show in the first match. Unfortunately, I got hit in the face with a chair wrapped in barbed wire, and it gave me a 4.5-inch gap on my forehead that I still have a nasty scar from. But a week after that, I tore all the cartilage in my right knee. So I was hit for the rest of 2011. Unfortunately, went through major surgery. Completely had to put my knee back together. I gained a whole bunch of weight, so I went from 400 pounds to about 440 pounds, which is not good when you're nursing a bad leg. Watching all those shows that are going on, watching your tag partner start teaming with other people and finding a level of success without you, seeing your best friends, move on without you, the business that you love move on without you, and then finally you're able to get back in the ring. You're not at 100%, but you still push anyway. So you go out there and you bust your butt and you do your thing, and then life throws another curveball at you. And probably not something that a lot of guys who you're going to interview will go into, but in 2012, I was convicted of a felony, and I spent 13 months between 2012 and 2013 in prison, in federal prison, to be honest with you. And and seeing all that happen, everything going on with that, all my friends forgetting about me, or the majority of my friends forgetting about me, and just sitting there and rotting. And the only thing that kept me sane while I did my bid was, what am I going to do when I get out? Now, so when I first started wrestling, I wrestled under the name The Portrait of American Horror, Joey Saint. And I was just a mean, surly brawler. I was a big, heavy guy, just like my trainer was a big, heavy guy in his heyday, and I could fight. And that's what I did, because I knew what I could do, and I stuck to what I could do, which a lot of guys don't do nowadays. I was not a catch-can wrestler. I was not a high flyer. I wasn't a 400-pound guy trying to do a moonsault. I wanted to go out there and I wanted to fight, and I did. But by the time I got out of prison, I was down to about 275. I'm in the best shape of my life, and now I have to relearn how to wrestle at my size. So when I got out and I was able to do my thing, I started back at the training center under Pablo Marquez, J.B. Cool, Bobby Sanford, all these guys who have been places, and Pablo's been incredibly patient with me, and he's been helping me and get along, move forward. Same thing with JB. And when some guys like that you look up to when you're in the business, and these guys have been places, and they say, you know what, you're getting better. You know what, I want to be in a match with you because you're showing potential. You're not just this big fat brawler anymore. You're actually a guy who can go out there and put on a show. And that means something to me. Guys who are in this business for 10 or 15 years and who don't go and they don't sharpen their skills and they just kind of coast on what they originally learned, I'm surpassing them. I'm not even 5 years in this business as a professional wrestler, and I'm surpassing guys like that because I am more entertaining. I am a better performer. I am a better wrestler, now than I ever have been. And I have the drive and I have the desire to keep pushing forward and to keep moving forward to make up for the time that I lost. The almost year with the knee injury, the almost year and a half in the clink. It's stuff like that it'll either motivate you or it'll bury you. And a lot of guys just don't have that drive to turn around and be like, you know what, full steam ahead. And that's exactly what I did. I took my bad situations, I took my bad luck, I took my crummy life experiences, and I turned them around into something spectacular, and I'm on my way up.
I honestly hope that whether it's the live show or whether I have this on YouTube, that people will definitely take a listen to this interview and fully understand that just because you're down doesn't mean that you're out. It's just a matter of you just saying enough is enough. I mean, I want to do better. I want to strive. I want to succeed. And that just because you have your downs, it doesn't mean that you're down and out. You still have a chance. You still have it. People want to believe in you. You got to show that you want to commit to the task at hand. And you, BJ, you've done that and then some. So I give you tons of credit for overcoming a lot of adversity and to be where you are today, man. I give you a lot of credit.
Well, thank you very much. It means a lot. And one thing I always tell these guys who are going through a rough time or who are kind of losing their fire, look at it like this: life will get you down. Life is gonna put the boots to you, and it's gonna put a lot of heat on you. And you're gonna try to make a comeback. You're gonna try to make a comeback, and you're gonna fail. and you're going to try again, you're going to try again, and you're going to fail. But if you don't keep trying, if you don't keep trying to fight back and get some shine, get some push behind you, if you can't, make a comeback, if you can't look at all the good that you have, if you can't look at the beautiful woman in your life, or the kids that you love, or the sport that has kept you going, the sport that you fell in love with when you were a kid, if you can't look at all these things, that this little measure of success that you've had, even getting to work one match, if that's all you've ever done, if that was your dream to work one match, if your dream was to be a professional wrestler, and for one match you were a professional wrestler, if you were fighting for something, if you got to fight for yourself before you fight for somebody else, if you're down in the dumps and you think you got nothing left, and you got nothing left to live for, or anything like that, take a look at every other guy around you and think, God, look what this guy went through. Look what BJ Murdoch went through. Look what this guy went through, or that guy went through, going through life problems that I can't even imagine how they went through it. Look at all these guys around you who have had bad situations, who have survived them, and who have gone above and beyond to make their situations better. You gotta look at all those little things that keep you going. If it's your son, if it's your daughter, if your niece, your nephew, the fans in the front row, the woman that you're married to, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, it doesn't matter. It's the little things that you gotta push. I sound like a motivational speaker, but you know what? This is stuff that I had to push through. I had to push through my absolute lowest low to be able to survive what I got from what I went through. And it's because, and I swear to you, it's because of professional wrestling that I got out of my situation with any form of sanity, because it was very, very rough. And I don't wish that on anybody, but I did get through it. And if I can get through that, there's nothing that anybody can't get through. Everybody deals with bad stuff every day. You know what? Bad stuff every day happens to people every single day. You just have to remember that and look at the light at the end of the tunnel, because it is there. So,
Absolutely,
yeah.
BJ. You know what? I truly believe you have what it takes to be a motivational speaker if you're not already. Maybe after your wrestling career is all said and done. Maybe that's your next calling,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know about all that. I'm a little heavily tattooed, to be a motivational speaker or a life coach or even a social worker, because these are things that I actually thought of. If professional wrestling doesn't work out for me, what am I going to do with my life? Because unfortunately, there's not a lot of money to be made in this business anymore, unless you're 6'7" and cut like a Greek god, which I am neither. But I do the best I can, and everybody's got their hopes and their dreams, and I'm still gonna fight for it. I start school Friday. I start school Monday to learn how to become a welder, because it's what's going to give me the time to go and spend time with my family and spend time with my girl and spend time on sharpening my skills in professional wrestling, and give me the time that I can go and I can travel to Timbuktu to wrestle. And that's really what it is. It's like I had to find a career that was going to work for what I want in life. What I want in life is I want to start my family. I want to be able to be a wrestler and get in front of the crowd and entertain, and that's what I came up with. I said, all right, well, I guess it's going to be something that is that pays half decently and and allows me the time that I desire. So, yay, school. You never stop learning, right?
That is absolutely true. It don't matter if you're young or old. You're always gonna learn something new every day. And I commend you on school, and I wish you a great semester, man. But as we are now into the year 2014. Do you have any upcoming shows or better yet, some goals you'd like to accomplish this year?
Absolutely. Well, speaking about shows coming up, this Saturday, if you're airing this tonight, it means tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be down in Miami for Pro. Me and my tag partner Barrington Hughes, Big Crush. We are the Power, and we are going to be facing the Tech Squad of PC Reed and Mike Monroe. This will be the second meeting of the two teams. Got a little bit of history there. My first match back, which was August 31st, back from my time away, if you will, was a title match for the Pro Heavyweight Championship, and it was a four-way match, and my elimination was caused by the Tech Squad. I don't know why. I don't really know what motivation it was, but they attacked me, and that was that. I thought it was a one-off. You know what? Like, hey, you're welcome back, kind of thing. Like, oh, you think you're back and you're going to come in and take a title? I don't think so, kind of thing. But you know what? I could look past it. I've gone through worse. And then turn around the next month in September, I'm on another show in Miami for Pro, and I'm facing a guy by the name of Kling, and I have the match in hand. All of a sudden, boom! Before they hit the ring, they bend the chair over my tag team partner's head. He was out there cheering me on in his Utila kilt and "Are You Mad, Bro" T-shirt, and crack a chair over his skull. Get in the ring. They caused Kling to get disqualified, but he didn't really care, and beat me up again. So that's two in a row. So we request a match. Finally, we get a match against them. Hard fought match between the Tech Squad and the Power, and turn around and they duck out of the ring and they get counted out. I don't understand it. You're causing problems, and then all of a sudden you want to duck out. I don't understand. But you know what? It's not just the Tech Squad. It's the Tech Squad and the Golden Sheik and Jim Sherbert. It's 4 against 1 out there. But we're trying our best to make it as even as possible, and they just keep weaseling their way out. So finally, that Pro's Unknown Element, which is on Saturday, January 4th, there's a stipulation in every match. I don't know what our stipulation is. Whatever it is, we're absolutely 100% ready to take on whatever it is, whether it's 4-on-1 or a hardcore match or a hair versus hair match or a loser leaves town match. It doesn't really matter to me. We are prepared for anything. And ready to go out there and just do our thing. So we are looking forward to that. And then the week after is the BMW show, Barico's Most Wanted. That's going to be happening in Hollywood, Florida. I believe that Hughes and I are going to be facing the Dirty White Boys of Scotty Landon and Matt Schaller. So that'll be interesting. It's tough being like one of the only babyface teams in an area, because then all of a sudden all the bad guys are trying to get at you, trying to stick it to the fans and making a name off of you. And we're still a pretty young team all in all, so we can we kind of have a target on us. Oh, the two big guys now want a team. Well, we're not the biggest team that's ever been in South Florida. I mean, Hughes was in a tag team with somebody else, and their total combined weight was like 800 and something pounds. So, Hughes Poo and I are only like 767 or something like that. I'm heavy, he's heavy. We're both power guys and brawlers, and we're just listen. What people don't understand is that this business for me is all about having fun. It's like football or basketball or baseball. It's a game. I want to go out there and I want to fight. I want to have fun. And this is my rec time, and that's all I do. As far as goals go for this year, currently Hughes and I are the CCW Coastal Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Goals there are to hold the title and take on all comers. The Circle of Disrespect of the King of Florida, Frank Cisco Siatsu, and Simon Says, the Emerald Emperor. They're coming down to challenge us in March, so that's exciting. They're a very well-known team in the South. They are easily one of the best top 20 tag teams in the country. They hold titles. They go to places. They take titles. That's just what they do. So it's going to be a very large challenge for two green guys like Hughes and I to take on two very well-seasoned guys like Francisco Siatsu and Simon Says. But we are absolutely up for the challenge. We're very excited about that. Between now and then, we have at least 2 title defenses for CCW. So there's that. And basically, our goals are to just branch out throughout the state, throughout the country, as many times as we can get to ply our craft and entertain the fans anywhere we go. The Power is ready. At the very end of it, people are going to walk out of the building saying, "Wow, those guys are freaking awesome." because we're different. We don't just go up there and leave the crowd out of it like so many guys do, and I hate that. Guys forget the crowd is there, and they're just in the moment in the fight. See, everything we do, every little thing that we do is crowd interactive. Okay? Like, as silly as it is, we got this thing online. It was a simple little joke that turned into something huge. And it was a hashtag shoulda had the pie. And I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody who's listening, but hashtag shoulda had the pie turned into fans bringing us pie. And one show was 1 pie, and the next show was 2 pies, and the next show was 3 pies. And all of a sudden, we're being bombarded by pie, which is fantastic because I love pie. And so does Music Boot. So, for us to go and take something that's an inside joke and turn it into fan interaction, it's something that so few people actually do, and it's really sad. I mean, when people look at the history of the Power, they're going to remember as the guys who did food challenges and entertained the fans and ate a lot of pie. Which is fine with me because at least we'll be remembered for something. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm really hoping to leave the country, wrestle outside of the country this year, preferably in a tag team, but if not in a tag team, in singles. Other than that, we're trying to work on getting to Puerto Rico. We're trying to get over to Japan and Germany and anywhere we could possibly get a foothold in. That is the ultimate goal. Just like any other professional wrestler, trying to make it to a bigger league. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Anybody, any promotion, any fan who desires to see the Power, I absolutely implore you to contact either myself, BJ Murdoch, or my tag team partner, Barrington Hughes. We are more than willing to travel wherever just to be able to have one more fan remember us, to show one more group or one more area that, the Power is real, and we are one of a kind, and there's second to none. So
that's awesome, man. Everybody go check out the shows that BJ mentioned. Support your local indie pro wrestling shows. And my last question for you, BJ, as far as contact is concerned, why don't you go ahead and promote your social media links, Facebook, Twitter, or any other links that the people need to know?
All right. Let me see. As far as Facebook goes, mine is BJ Murdoch. It's pretty easy to remember. Barrington Hughes is just that. His name's a little tricky. BARRINGTON Hughes. HUGHES. He's pretty easy to find also. He's a 480-pound black guy. Me, I kind of blend in with the crowd. I'm just an average-sized, heavily tattooed white guy with a hot girlfriend. So there's that. As far as our Twitter is The Power is Real. And I think what is my Instagram? I think my Instagram is BJ_Murdoch, which is pretty easy to remember. And then our Tumblr, if I'm not mistaken, is also The Power is Real, or it could be BJ Murdoch. I'm not entirely sure. But find us there. Or on YouTube, which is the Power Channel, which is its own channel, all one word, The Power Channel, on YouTube, and you can see all of our crazy antics and promos and matches that we have up on there. Pretty easy, And like I said, if you're in the area, absolutely come and check us out. If you're online, send me a friend request and music to a friend request. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. If you think we suck, tell us we suck. If you think we're freaking great, tell us we're freaking great. Because you know what? That's what it's all about. It's the fan interaction. The fan, I want to know what the fans think about me. Because if my fans think I'm no good, then the promoter's not going to want to bring me in. You know what I'm saying?
Well,